Welcome back to the YTG Podcast.
Welcome.
You are new here, my name is Nico. I'm an automotive photographer and now amateur racing driver.
I'm Sean, and I am the owner of this lovely shed in Keysborough, YTG Young Timers Garage.
Here
Welcome.
on the weekly-ish YTG, we're
Yes.
going to give you the sort of inside scoop inside the automotive industry in Australia, as well as some fantastic stories, motorsport, anything car
related.
So, and a bit of electric car hate. So yeah, join us on another episode, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome back, Season 2, Episode 9. It's been a while again.
Yeah.
I apologise. Man, it's just been one thing after the other. But we're here. We're exhausted, but we're here.
Yeah, man, April was spent already, and it's been full on. But yeah, no, it's been a long time between drinks, but a lot to catch up on.
A lot to catch up on.
Love to have you back.
It is. So this episode is titled Manual is Not Dead, and that's going to be our main topic that we get onto a little later with some stats and data to back up that claim.
Yes.
So hang around for that, but we're going to start things off with a little bit of catch up. So one of the things that kept us busy lately was the month of March and everything that happened in the month of March. The main thing that we're going to talk about today is the Grand Prix, Formula 1 in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was great and sad and everything in between.
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to get tickets to the Mercedes
invited
suite.
to go to the suite.
That's around on the outside of turn 10 there, on the opposite side of the track to the pits. And that was a great little...
Yeah, never been there before, never been to that suite, but everyone was telling us how good it was, and it was great. It was great food. I was quite shocked to see the amount of people that I didn't think would be there. I thought there would have been in other suites, but everyone seemed to have the consensus was it was the place to be.
That was the telltale sign for me. When
the heavy hitters that were there.
Yeah, correct.
I was like,
guys that should have been in the Porsche or the Zagami or whatever else were all there.
Yeah, they said, no, fuck it, this is the place, and it was good. So, really enjoyed the couple of days. Then, obviously the pit visit, sitting in the back, was fucking grouse.
Yeah, so Sean managed to swindle his way into pit pass to go.
I am owed a lot of fucking favours out there, and there's very few times, but when I do call on them, and that was definitely a called on favour, and it was grouse.
Yes, so sometimes if you are a regular watcher of the Formula 1 feed, you'll see that at the back of each team's pit box, they have a little space for a couple of celebrities or random guest VIP visitors where they put their headphones on and they're listening to what's going on. So Sean was one of those people.
I was none of those. I was just lucky to get in there. I wasn't a random VIP or a celebrity. I just fucking got the ring in.
Well, walk us through that experience for everyone else who's never done that before.
Well, I've been Paddock Club a few times, but to actually go into the pits itself in the back of the F1 garage
was during the race, mind you.
During the race, because I was fucking spewing because you can't take no video or nothing, so it's all Masons or hush hush. You can't do anything, so we had to hand the phones in or put them in the and watch us put them in the pocket. And you're not going to be disrespectful. As much as I actually did, I asked Lara, who was helper, if you will. I said, please, can you? And she sort of thought about it for a second, and then she sort of went, I can't. I went, no, I'm not going to ask the thing. But we sat in the back there. They've got 5 rows, sorry, 5 people, so 10 people. Literally at the back, we were behind the pit of Lewis, and then you could see Bono and Toto and all the hierarchy there, and we're sitting in the back. We had the noise-cancelling headphones on, and they had a guy just, that had all the telemetry going, the pit talk back and forth between Russell and Lewis with the teams. And
so you could hear both drivers talking?
Yeah, you can switch in and out. You can hear them. And then they had the screen on. Everyone had a screen. It's cool because all the little, like the Mercedes vents on the dash, that sort of thing. So it blows the air in. So it's a beautiful immersion. It's cool. And you've got everyone running around and all that stuff. And then you're just watching it. And that was when Lewis's engine blew, because I fucking went, fuck. He said, I had the headphones, so I totally forgot. And they're like, but the other bloke was watching us. He's like, fucking pissed off and so disappointed. We're like, fuck. And it was just so quick because the TV's delayed, So he's talking about in their box, and George had come in, and then you're sort of watching the TV because you're sort of at the back, so you can't really see. You've got all the mechanics there running out.
Yeah.
But by the time you've gone like this, he'd come and gone, and then it's so So we sort of missed it in a sense, and because where we're sitting. But in saying that, look, third world problems here. I mean, it was amazing. It was great to have that immersion, and the bonus is, I guess I know we were lucky because this is his last year with Mercedes.
Yeah,
and that's also one of the reasons why I said, no, fuck it, we'll go to Mercedes this year instead of anywhere else, because the opportunity of maybe the drivers coming past, and they generally do, or some of the team, and they had some team people there, but the drivers, I think it was on Thursday which we missed.
Yeah.
So it was just great. It was great to go in the back in there, and then once we came out, then we sat in the hospitality area, which was grouse.
Right.
So, mate, I'm an old fucking raver, and I fucking love my fucking techno and trance, and there's fucking Carl Cox sitting there. So I'm sitting with Carl, and I ran into him a few times now, so it was good to see him. So, yeah, just talk shit about how grouse he is, and I love him, and he's just awesome, and he's here for a couple of months, and said to him, mate, please come up. So he said he'll try and get up, because obviously he's down the road, but yeah, and then just sort of thought, oh, fuck, I'll do a bit of a walk around, and just walked around and just running into a lot of people, which was really, really cool to see a lot of people, a lot of drivers or the V8 boys, and then ran into Daniels and Joe Ricardo. That was always good to see him. So it was good. Yeah, it was cool. So I've been blessed to do that a couple of times, but to actually go into the actual in the back, that was fucking grouse. So again, thank you to the favours asked and granted by Mr. Hackett, and that's very kind of you. That Pete Hackett's a good friend of ours. He's the main man for AMG driver training. And another very dear old friend of mine, Mr. Gavin Harvey, who's, I guess, like 2IC, if you will. So they were sort of making sure everything was running along smoothly, and they were kind enough to make sure that I was in the raffle to go. Because what they do is it's whoever's in the suite, their numbers get randomly picked.
Yeah, but we saw other people doing some.
Well, I saw that, and I just went, fuck this. I'm going to call on some favours. So, yeah, no, it was grouse. Like
this
I said,
is
I had
our little
great
secret,
time.
right?
Yeah. But it was great fun, and no, felt very privileged and honoured to be a part of that. It was really good, really, really good, and great way to finish off, I suppose, my tenure with Mercedes AMG Petronas, because next year we go to Scarlett, as everyone's asked me, as my phone melted, and I think it's fantastic. I don't even know if we've spoken since Lewis has made the announcement. Did he?
We did,
didn't we? Yeah, that's how long ago. Fuck, okay, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I still think it's great. I think it's fantastic. Ferrari were the first team I followed anyways, and then just as I grew, I went to McLaren Mercedes, and then off we went, so I think it's fantastic. It'll be good. Yes, that I still believe they probably should have kept Carlos. I believe Carlos then Leclerc.
I'm still a Charles man over Carlos.
Yeah,
but you can't deny Carlos has still got it well and truly.
Still in it, right? Hopefully he'll get. Hopefully he'll get a really good seat. I really do. He deserves it.
I love the Red Bull stuff. I'd see him in a Red Bull.
Well, he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, half the field was Red Bull Junior drivers.
I was going to say, fuck me, isn't it? And then, I don't know, it'd be interesting if he takes the Mercedes chair, whether it's Vettel. I think Vettel would be awesome.
That'd be
That'd be awesome, mate, if Vettel comes back out. I think he still has it in him, and I reckon it'd be great. But anyways, yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a big couple of weeks for racing for us.
It really was.
Big couple of weeks.
It was. And then next door, the racing team, we managed to get those out.
Yeah, that was thanks to Matty and Leonardo. They made a phone call, which was very good, and asked if we could be involved with Qatar Airways.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that. Qatar Airways? Qatar.
It's like Murcielago or Gallardo or Gallardo or what, just, so Qatar Airways, which was awesome. It was really good. They gave us a call, said, look, we'd love a couple of simulators. So we took the bad boys for their VVIP nights. Yeah, it was grouse. It was really good branding, great PR. They had young Jack Doohan on the Sims.
Yep.
Coulthard was on the Sims. Crofty was commentating.
Yeah, so they had Jack Doohan doing laps of the Qatar Airways circuit on our simulators, and David Croft is standing there with a microphone, commentating Jack's laps.
Yeah,
very cool.
It was really, really good. So again, very grateful for the opportunity for us to present YTG Sims there. It was great PR. It went off really, really well. And, yeah, we've still got all the Qatar Airways on the branding, still on the Sims. We kept it on there. Why not? Looks great.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really good. So, again, just a good start off to the year. And, we had some good exposure, with even the Philippine, we discussed that or later on or whatever, with some branding and some advertising we'd done there by Alfred and YTG, which was really good. It's good to see that. But no, it was a big couple of weekends.
Yeah, so probably the biggest thing that happened for us at the Formula One was obviously the Gary Cooper Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah.
Which happened on Thursday, so it's easy to forget after everything else that happened that weekend. But yeah, so...
That was massive, yeah.
Yeah, Gary Cooper was inducted into the Australian Motorsport Hall of Fame, which is a pretty awesome moment. So
yeah, big achievement. Very, very... They've only done it in, 120 years? It's only been 80-something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it's less than one person per year.
Yeah, so, look, a lot of people said it was well overdue. You could see from that, which, really is. He regardless of us being privileged to own the brand, I mean, he really was a genius. And as I said, the Colin Chapman of for Australia.
Yeah.
So that was great. And obviously, we're blessed to be the founders of Elfin. So, Formula One.
Owners of Elfin.
Sorry, custodians. Custodians. I meant to say. Sorry, custodians, not founder. Custodians of Elfin now, and obviously Formula One reached out to us, and then Nico grabbed the keys and then was able to put it all together, and we were able to get a couple of race cars, which was fantastic, from the Lamberts and me as well, wasn't it, Bill?
Bill Hemming, Spencer Lambert, and, geez, forgive me, Nick.
Yes, sorry.
I've totally forgotten his last name.
Yes.
600B Formula 2.
Yeah, thank you so
sorry,
much.
I can't remember your last name as well.
Blank, sorry. Thank you so much for allowing them to be on display. So, yeah, it was a fantastic Thursday introduction to F1 for us, and it was great. It was great. It was good to hear all the good things said about Elfin and Gary Cooper's induction. It was really good. It was awesome. Really, really good. So, awesome. Again, very privileged to be a part of that. It was great.
Yeah, and great to see that Motorsport in Australia still see the relevance of Gary Cooper and what he did.
Yeah, huge.
And I've said it so many times, in the research that I've done for the brand since we took ownership of it, the amount of stuff that I've learned and what he did, the things that he created, it was phenomenal. It's just, at the end of the 70s, coming into the 80s, it was absolutely unreal what he was doing.
Yeah,
just
it's pretty
next
special.
level.
It is. It's pretty special when you dive into it and you see what could have possibly been.
I know. Yeah. If he hadn't died,
that's the sad thing.
Imagine.
In the 80s at such a young age.
Yeah.
Who knows where it could have been.
Yeah, Bill set it up on stage. Imagine what he would have been doing now with today's technology. It's true. It's true.
Forget it. So that was fantastic. So all in all, the F1 weekend, and of course, thank you, Mr. Taylor. You are an absolute fucking legend. We love you, mate. And again, chopper in, chopper out.
Chopper in, chopper. That's the way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't drive to the Formula One.
Spoiled now, I told you.
Oh my God. Now I've seen the light.
Yep, never going.
Holy crap.
Never turn right ever again.
Oh, it's amazing. So they basically at the Formula One, it's cool to see how this works. They dedicate a football oval as a effectively helicopter car park.
Yeah.
And then they have their own control tower there.
Yeah.
And so the control tower manages all the choppers coming in and out. They have an identical flight pattern that they all take to come down and come out, so that effectively they're looping around so they can't run into each other. And then everything is halted if any of the roulette displays or anything like that are on. So on day 2, we were late because I think, were you late? Yeah, Sean was late. Big surprise.
Yeah, I was late.
And so we took off from here, Keysborough, and then had to turn around and land again at Moorabbin Airport, because the roulettes and everything were doing their display. Some of the roulettes actually coming past. They passed us in the air on their way back.
Yeah, and we lost our fly-in slot. So sadly, we had to go park at Moorabbin helicopter car park and just chill there.
It's unbelievable. Ariel would message me. I'd tell her I'm on my way home. And then 10 minutes later, I'm in the car halfway down the freeway here. Yeah, it's like, how did you get from the city to... It's literally like a 6-minute flight from the city.
It really is.
It's mad.
And we had to kill time too. Whether on the Thursday, on the Friday, Saturday. When did we run late? Sunday. Saturday. Yeah, it was just a cruise, mate. It was just unreal.
So good.
And just that's the best thing, honestly, I told you. It's just, can't do it any other way. So thank you again, Mr. Taylor. You are an absolute gentleman. It was awesome, Paul. Thank you for flying safely.
Yeah. Paul was awesome. All right, so we'll move on to our new segment, which is something we're going to do every single episode moving forward. A little bit of structure.
A bit more structure.
To the YTG podcast. So we're going to do Car of the Week and just sort of highlight briefly some of the awesome cars that we have sitting here.
Yeah, we've had so many good cars that have come through.
We've done a season and a half of podcasts without barely even talking about the fact that we are a car dealership. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And this week we're going to start things off with what I think is one of the coolest cars in the showroom at the moment, and that is our 964 Turbo 3.6, otherwise known as the Bad Boys Porsche.
Yeah. So everyone keeps going the Bad Boys, but I suppose because I guess there was such an iconic movie, the first Bad Boys, and obviously they used that car in the movie, so it was just so iconic. And
is that why it has the value it has? Because of that movie or before
No,
that?
I think that just helped it and enhanced it. But, they're a rare car. They're a special car anyway. It's the 3.6 right-hand drive, that is. Anyways, I mean, that's obviously left-hand drive. But they're just a rare car and a special car. It's just I don't know. I mean, for me, that's my favourite Porsche. It really is just the 964 Turbo. Obviously, 3.6 or the 3.3. That look, even the Jubilee. There's something about that 964 because it still has that classic G911 from the 80s.
Yeah.
But it has that...
Slightly refined.
Yeah, just with the way the mouldings are on the front and the way the caps are and that. It just has that elegance of a bit more modern, but still has that... Like, you got a park next there. We've got the Jubilee parked next to the roof. And, there's... You can see the similarities, but... that's what I love about it. Then you got the 993, which is the next series next to it, and it was a total different take.
Yeah, totally.
So, I like my 993s, but the 964 for me is special. And so the 3.6, like I said, I don't know, it's a combination of a few things,
Yeah.
And that car there, I mean, that was a beautiful car. That was sold new to Brunei Royal Family.
Sultan of Brunei.
So that's a Sultan of Brunei car.
Yeah.
That's a factory right-hand drive car because there's a lot of left-hand drive cars, but there's also a lot of factory-produced right-hand drives like he's done with the 40, things like that, 288. So he's done some special stuff, which were only left-hand drive, but they were obviously right-hand drive market. It moved in the royal family to, I think, like their financial attaché sort of thing in the royal. So it stayed in the royal family or that royal province for a good portion of its life. Then it went to the UK. Then it came out to Australia. So it's got plenty of history. There's not a lot of history from Brunei family cars, and that's anyone who knows that. Like, mate, when we were at Duttons, we were buying 288 GDOs or F50s, and there's no fucking nothing. There's nothing.
That's terrifying.
There's nothing.
That's just because they just don't need to bother.
Yeah, they don't bother, and so, I don't know, maybe, just too much money, but because of cars, and obviously the climate, they're not always in air conditioned stuff like some of them are now.
Yep.
Don't forget, you're talking 88, 84, like when the cars came out back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We forget, these cars are...
They wouldn't have been in air-conditioned warehouses back then.
Fuck, you know what I mean? Let alone chuck them on a plane.
Yeah.
So it was not prehistoric, but compared to today's standards, I mean, so... Ferraris, I've always said, Ferraris don't age well in terms of the old cars. They just don't. You know what I mean? They're quite susceptible to heat, the leathers.
Oh, mate,
and hand-built
imagine
cars,
80s Ferrari living in 50-degree
like
heat.
Anyone knows, like the F40s and F50s or those sort of F cars, if you will, the iconic Ferraris. They've got like a fucking carpet, like a carpeting material on the dashes.
Alcantara.
Yeah, it's sort of like a really terrible
Suede.
Alcantara. It's actually like a carpety sort of materially thing, but over time, that sort of shrinks and whatever. But these cars have done no miles, and they're all shrunk because of the heat.
Yep.
And the doors are closed and that sort of stuff. So you find that generally the Ferraris just generally, they don't age well. That's what we say in the trade, because they don't. You know what I mean? If you look at I'm sorry, it's just the fucking way it is, mate. You look at a, and I'm trying to think of a like for like car, a 90s Ferrari as opposed to a 90s Porsche.
Yeah.
You can see the differences between the Germans and the Italians. It just is. It is. And then you go to the English, throw the Lambos in there as well, and then again you've got another level of lunacy.
Yep.
So in saying that, they're special cars. That's why you love them. But in saying that, to have something that's got history or it's got its books, things like that, well then you are lucky to have that. That car's got it. I mean, some of the cars that we bought, F50s, the only reason why they went there because you'd get the manifest with the VIN numbers out of Maranello to the Royal Palace of Brunei or Royal Precinct of Brunei, and then you'd have the like you buy fucking 5 at one time or something crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
So then you have the VIN numbers allocated.
All
and you go,
five,
okay,
yeah,
those
okay.
ones. Okay, so this is a Brunei car.
Yeah.
So because obviously a lot of cars have moved out of the collection, if you will, because I mean, there's always someone selling a Brunei car or whatever. We've had a few Brunei cars in here, had plenty when it was at Dutton. So, you know, again, coming back to that, it's an iconic car. Funny enough, I've probably seen more Brunei cars than I have fucking Aussie cars. No shit.
Really?
Because we had a couple of Duttons, a yellow one, red one, and, you know, one car sold for $1 million. So that car there is quite good value at, what are we asking, $830. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the market's softened. The market has softened across the board of late, and it's been sort of very up and down. But in saying that, it's still what we call a global car. Global cars, to me, is something that's not really hurt too much when the market softens. It might correct maybe 5-10%, but in that sense, that's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But, you know, the people that buy it, if you've got the sustainability to hold it, the market can be artificial, depending on also. I mean, some people pay big money for certain cars in the last number of years, and, well, you can't control that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You roll with the punches, you know. But that car there, yeah, beautiful pedigree, good history, a lot more history since after the royal family ownership.
Yep.
Then obviously private individuals, so then it had a lot more maintenance, if you will. But mechanically, yeah, cars are low mileage, it's 40-odd thousand Ks, got MOTs to verify all that stuff. Yeah, just good things, man. The speed lines are grouse, everything's still there. Yeah, I think it's even got the original period correct Blaupunkt cassette player in there.
Yeah.
The only thing it's got is it's got the sports exhaust, or they come to twin the turbos come with the twin pipes, but it's got sports exhaust. But that's it, just a nice little bit of a throatiness on those engines. It's quite nice, it's not too loud, nice little bit of an overrun. But they are good cars.
So good.
They are just there's just special cars. So yeah, they are the pretty much 964 lightweight and crazy shit like that, you know, 1 at 20 and that sort of stuff. You start talking 1.2 whatever mil, euro, pounds depending on the car. But for something that it's not that, I mean, it's precious still, but like, we're not going to drive a fucking lightweight around. You're going to drive a GT2. You're not going to drive those GT3. You're not going to drive them around. They're just too value. Again, yes, 800,000 is a lot of money. Yes, we are a little bit immune, and yes, we're like, yeah, okay, I'll drive my $800,000 car around, but I won't drive my 1.5 or $2 million car. Well, no, it didn't mean it that way, but it comes off that way. But no, but it's something that is going to be more generational than the other ones. The other one's a bit too hardcore, so you get the more specialist buyer, whereas that there, a young guy, because we take full crypto, we had a bloke that wanted to pay crypto on that car, but we just, I don't know, fucking crypto, I can't work it out. But anyway, so as generations go on, there's still going to be a young market attraction to that car.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about those cars. And that's why, you know, certain Porsches, generational, like the 356, that beautiful 356, we haven't put to market yet.
I can't wait to shoot that car. It looks amazing.
We've got to do photos. Fuck. So that's a special car. That's a pretty special car we got coming up. That's you know, we'll probably do that on the next one if it's not sold, but that's a 1958, 59 model year, 356A Cabriolet. Sorry, hardtop cabriolet. So it's got a factory winter hardtop on the factory list. It was out of in 1956 to 59. The colour chart for a 356, there was only one colour, which was like a optional colour, which is like silver grey, and that's that car. That's that colour.
Right.
So out of all the colours between those 3 years, that car
one.
does have that extra colour option. So with the red leather, the factory red leather, or the factory red interior, red leather at the time, or leatherette, the black hardtop, and that colour combination, when we had it checked by Porsche for Classique to make sure it's all matching numbers, which it is, it's fucking original serial casings, everything. Never been on the market. Very special car. There's less than probably 30 or 25, they reckon. So they can't give you the numbers because we don't really know around the world. But right-hand drive.
Yeah.
They said there'd be maybe 2 or 3, if lucky, of that in the world in that combination in right-hand drive. Probably that's the only one.
Yeah.
But they can't put that in writing.
No.
It's like fucking Ferrari.
Yeah.
So it's 1 of 499.
Yeah.
But what number? Well, it's one of 499.
Yeah.
Lambo, the best. It's one of 275. You didn't even fucking build 275. You only built 185. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's no numbers, but something like that, because how many right-hand drive Cabriolets in 1958 would they have built? Let alone that colour combination.
Yeah.
And Hamilton's delivered car. So it's just like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Now, if I was at another establishment I was privileged to be in charge of, I'd be asking significantly more. But I don't have that kind of a checkbook anymore. So we're going to be a lot more aggressive in the pricing. But in saying that, that's going to be probably somewhere around the sort of 750 mark.
Okay.
That's cheap.
What would you take, the 356, or for similar money, the 356 or the Bad Boys?
No, mate, I always fucking say it the way it is. I'm Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Because that's beautiful, and I'm not going to drive that. Because
100%.
it's just so pretty.
Yeah, it's a work of art.
Which is sad, but I mean, I would. I mean, it drives fucking grouse. But
So, yeah, I've driven 356, I'm blown away.
oh, yeah,
So good.
They're good,
So
aren't they?
good.
They're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always been my unicorn. The 3.6 Bad Boys. Oh,
Yeah.
well, it was the 930 Turbo, the normal 930 Turbo. But
Yeah.
you know, when I first experienced it, when I saw that, you know what I mean, and I got into the industry when they were only like a model out,
Yeah.
or two models out. You know what I mean? I think the 996. No, yeah, I got in the industry sort of late 90s. So yeah, sort of middle late 90s. Yeah, so 90, 993 into the 996 sort of was that phase. So
Yeah,
that was still relatively...
Still, not that old.
Because
yeah.
I sold a couple of Jubilees, because we only had like 13 or 14 Jubilees or whatever, and I sold a couple which were only a year or two old, a couple of years old, but like low mileage back then. And I just was always, when I first time I drove and I was like, yeah, this is beautiful. Just everything of the old school, but with just that nice...
Yeah,
to me, it's like a resto mod for a 930.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
totally
what
agree.
I look at it as.
Totally agree.
You know what I mean? I look at it like that, and that's how I would describe... How would you describe a 964 3.6? It's like a resto mod for a 930.
Yeah.
It's got that rawness, but still with that modernities
awesome
to it. Yeah, so, no, a very special car. We've had a little bit of interest in it, a few people from overseas, but just, yeah, look, there's a lot of shit going on in the world at the moment, so, you know, it's no different to someone here as of overseas.
Yeah.
Just a matter of just the market and so on, but that is a very special car. Very special car, so we should look at it.
Well, speaking of awesome cars, actually, we can't get onto our main topic today yet because we've got some questions.
Oh,
we
of
have
course.
questions
Yes,
from the audience.
Yes.
Can't forget about
So yeah,
the audience.
so we're trying to put a bit more structure to it. We will get people on from time to time when we have, but this was like a last minute. We've been trying to put something together, and our beautiful friend JP has kindly helping us. So he's our man. You need to speak, video, all of those things. Let us know. All the video on the website, stuff like that, he's our man. He's the man who does all our stuff. So JP was kind enough to help us out tonight and do this last minute. Hey, we got a lot of content.
Yep.
So we're going to do a bit of things like try to get a bit of normality and structure.
So,
First question.
Desert S3 asks, thoughts on the race in Melbourne, the Grand Prix? We talked about our experience, but the actual race itself was interesting. When Max's car died, the place, every single one of the 130,000 people there erupted.
I couldn't believe, like, then they even showed, like, you know, obviously after, you know, we watched the race. I watched the race again at night because obviously you don't see that much during the day. So I watched it quietly, watched it at home.
Yeah.
But then
You can hear it.
on the social stuff, mate, they were showing pubs and that, they were showing it. Bah! Everyone was going off, and I was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Unbelievable.
You know, again, everyone's forgotten about the Mercedes domination. Now everyone's over the fucking Red Bull domination.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's fucking turning wheel, mate. Simple. So, yeah, no, that was quite interesting. And even more so, his fucking thing broke down in front of Mercedes.
Lewis's car?
No, fucking
Max?
Verstappen.
Oh, Max's car
The
broke
engine,
everywhere.
well, when it sort of went off as it was going past our place, where we were at the sleep there.
We saw it
was
come past
fucking
with the
grouse.
smoke,
Yeah, unfortunately,
the
Lewis's broke
noise
down
of the
fucking there
crowd.
too.
Oh, my
mate,
God.
yeah, it went off. It went
Unbelievable.
Off.
But yeah, happy for Ferrari 1-2 finish.
That was
very
fantastic.
Good. Very, very good.
Shit for Mercedes because of both of them fucking and Philander, fucking Alonso brake testing.
So that's an interesting one. Let's talk about that for a second, right? So in racing, racers will do all sorts of things to each other to throw each other off, because when you're with another car, you're following them lap after lap after lap. You're doing the same circuit, right? You're doing the same things. So throwing the other driver off is about doing things differently one every 10 laps, right? As far as I'm convinced, what he did was slow down more than usual to get in his way before the corner. That, as far as I'm concerned, is a totally fine racing technique. He did not touch, hit, get in the way of.
As he's come out the bend, as he's come in the corner and he's coming behind, he's off the gas.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck.
Yep.
And he's like,
Yep.
yeah, but he's like,
Yep, that's racing.
not on a fucking bend when you're meant to have the gas in, mate.
That's exactly why you do it there.
Yeah, but that's fucking no wonder you got a fucking 20-second penalty, because that's fucking, you don't do it there. Come on, mate. No, this is a fucking supercar argument. You can't.
As far as I'm convinced, one of the greatest ways to stop the person behind you from getting the run on you, mind you, this is the corner right before the start of the long back straight, right?
Yeah.
So he's aware that George is close enough that if George can get a run, he's going to get him on the straight, especially with DRS.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that you stop the car behind getting a run on you is you overslow right at the apex of the corner. And what that requires the car behind you to do is overslow as well to stop from running up the back of you. And when they do that, they're on the brakes as you, the car in front, is transitioning on the power. Yeah. What that means is there's no chance for them to get that extra run on you to get past you. So you both lose a bit of time overall, but you as the car in front are safe from the overtake coming out of that corner for the next straight or whatever it is, right? Yeah. So that's what he's done. And it's caused George to go off because George wasn't expecting it. As far as I'm convinced, that's just George not being good enough from my couch potato.
Yeah. But, you know, if anyone was going to do it, you think about all the drivers on the grids. The sly fox is Fernando Alonso.
Oh, there's video of him doing it countless times.
No. What I'm saying is, so... yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah. Whereas Max would probably just fucking run him off the road. Whereas, you know what I mean? Whereas, yeah, when you look at it, it was like...
it was.
As a combination of both. He could have probably been fucking more Johnny on the spot and be prepared.
That's always the case, yeah.
And you know, Fernando was...
Look, at worst, I would have called it a racing incident. There's no way I would have given Fernando a penalty for that. In the same way that I wouldn't penalise someone for moving across to the inside to defend a corner.
Well, that was like Japan. I mean, with Ocon and Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Albon and Daniel, and he looked to his left to fucking check there, but ran across and his tyres, and then he's gone. I mean, that's definitely a racing incident.
Yeah. And it happens fast. It happens fast.
That one there, even I was watching like, ooh, that's a bit of a fucking brake check, fuck. And then...
yeah. It's, look...
20-second penalties are fucking pretty harsh.
I was amazed when I heard that. I just thought, no way.
I thought, nah.
Interesting.
That's fucking not right. Not right. But anyway, so, yeah. It was
a solemn day in the Mercedes fleet, I'll tell you that much, with a double DNF.
It was. Of all the fucking times to be
of all the races, yeah.
All the right. Again, it was all fucking barometers. It was all over the place.
Very happy for McLaren, third and fourth. Yeah, what did you think of the McLaren team orders to put Norris up into third, give the place to Norris, and then Oscar eventually ended up finishing the race in fourth? He never got his third back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, team orders are team orders, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, it's like Lewis just on the weekend, you know, swap over with George and let George go because he had the quicker car. Yep. It is what it is. Look, I don't like him, but I get it, and it'll never change. It's always be that way. Yeah. And yeah, so I just accept it for what it is. Just I'm not going to get pissed off about it. I mean, because it's just been going forever. It'll always go. It always will. Yeah. And as long as it goes both ways, I think it's fair.
100%.
Whereas Red Bull, it's always going to be one way. Yeah. Mercedes has always been both ways.
Yeah, Mercedes is pretty good.
Always has been pretty good. Red Bull's one way. McLaren, so-so. Ferrari, so-so. It's always been a bit, I don't really want to give the position up, and then they fucking start fighting. So... Melbourne was great because of Ferrari 1 and 2, and I didn't get a chance to go down to Ferrari Lygon Street, but it fucking went off. off.
Yeah, that's where you want to be. After a Ferrari win, you want to be on Lygon Street.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone to Lygon Street in the back in the days when Ferrari maybe got on the podium and you know, it used to go off. So it would be amazing.
So
it would
good.
be amazing, yeah. And from the videos that I saw, oh, come down. I go, no, I'll come next year. Next year I'll be there because then...
What you got to do is you got to book a spot at one of the restaurants.
Well,
like
no,
2 years
my
in
client owns
advance.
Cavagalino,
Nice.
so
Nice.
he owns it. So that's why with the Ferrari hanging off the roof. So that's not the issue.
Okay.
Getting up there.
Okay.
There's another mob that fucking parked their shit ape out the front. So, so yeah, we'll take it. They'll take the spot.
So our next question is from Ash, and he or she has asked, "Hello, what do you guys think about automotive brokers and how to make it in that space?" That's a great question for Sean.
Well, look, a broker. I mean, I guess a broker. You're only going to become a broker once you've got some runs on the board because you've got to be.
You have to have the client network.
You've got to have the client network and you've got to have the industry network because I suppose I could only call myself a broker once I had a few years under my belt, and even then, because a broker is really, it's quite a loose term because I'm an automotive broker. Okay, cool. Well, can you get me that? I know I specialise in this. Well, then you're not. A broker should be able to get pretty much anything.
Right.
So for me, a true definition of a broker is you have the industry contacts and the connections to be able to get the client whatever they want. And how I mean that is many of my clients, well, people know if you do business with me, I want to do business with you forever. So, you know, now a lot of clients, I'm now looking after their kids. Kids are now 18, 19, 20, 25, 30. Some of them, I've been invited to some weddings. Shows my fucking age. But it was more, it's, Sean, get me the Ferrari, or get me whatever. Now my kid's turning 18. Shawnee, can you get me a fucking Corolla? Yeah, done.
Yep.
Hey, my business partner has seen a beautiful car in France. How do we make this happen? Okay, cool. Then we get our people to investigate, do that.
Yep.
Now, that's a broker. A broker is, yep, I can get you what you want, or I know someone I can get a deal for you, or don't wait in the list. Some of these cars, don't forget, you can't get deals on these cars. You just got to fucking pay the price.
Yeah.
But where my pool might come through would be there's no waiting list.
Right.
You can jump to the top of the queue, or we can get rid of maybe the dealer delivery. Because some dealer deliveries is just horseshit because that's just extra profit, which everyone, you're entitled to make, but sometimes they gouge. Yeah. And that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like some of these dealers I heard were charging ridiculous amounts of dealer delivery on certain supercars.
Right.
Which is just a fucking gouge. That's, you know what I mean? It's just a gouge.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people are so desperate to get in on the brand that they'll pay it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going back to the question of broker, how do I do it? Well, you've got to work in the industry, work in the right area where you can enhance and develop your network skills. And as you grow, you will then be able to call yourself a broker, because there's nothing worse than calling yourself a broker and someone goes, hey, can you get me this? And you can't, because you wouldn't have a fucking clue to get.
Yeah.
But funny enough, and yes, I call it as I see it, and I fucking say good or bad. I thought someone was fucking having me on, but someone was asking for a Tesla. Remember I tell you that,
Asking you for a Tesla?
Well, he's asked us, YTG, I'm trying to get hold of a Tesla brokerage. He wants to export it. And I'm just saying, someone having to fucking hang on here, because of all the fucking joints, he's rung us. He's contacted us. So I actually thought someone was having a joke. So I actually rang the bloke, and I've gone, hey, mate, how you going? And he goes, yeah, good. Oh, you know, so look, Sean Baker, YTG, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yes, the Tesla. And I'm like, mate, are you fucking shitting me or what? And he's just been quiet.
He had no idea.
Yeah, no. And I'm like, mate, are you serious? You want a Tesla? And he goes, yes. And I just seen your social, and good job. He's seen it on your, look, amazing place. We feel very grateful for say thank you. But I go, have you had a good look at my inventory, mate? And he's like, Oh, but I thought you looked amazing. And I thought, so he's some overseas bloke. He's trying to get a car for export from overseas.
Okay.
And so he's genuine.
Obviously,
but
he hasn't seen our podcast clips.
correct. That's why I'm going. I thought someone, mate, a client fucking sent me tickets. A couple of clients sent me tickets for a fucking shit stir. They sent me tickets to the EV car show. Yes. They fucking sent me the EV car show. And I'm like, open up. What the fuck is this? I'm going, who's done this? And then sure enough, I get a fucking message from one of the clients. He's going, oh, mate, so you going to the car show? I've just gone, you fucking arsehole. He goes, I thought that would be just grouse. And the other one said, oh, yeah, Shawnee, I thought I'd send it to maybe his business partner goes, get him for Shawnee because he's really into electric cars. I won't mention names, but a client's business partner's really into electric cars. He's got the Taycan, he's got the fucking the e-tron Audi.
Yep.
It's the same shit, isn't it? Just different
Yeah,
dress,
pretty much,
basically.
Yep.
Couple of Teslas, got the fucking Star Wars thing with the X-Fighter wing doors, that. Got an original Tesla, like the Lotus
the
things.
Roadster,
So he's a hardcore.
Yeah.
And because we have a bit of fun, and you know, we always sort of give each other a bit of shit. So he's asked, he goes, Malcolm, I won't mention names, sorry. He's like, get him tickets. So then they've got them, and I'm like, what are you fucking doing? And he goes, I thought you could get Malcolm go with his business partner. So they're laughing. I'm like, no, ain't gonna happen. And that's why I'm going to the guy in the Tesla. So he's genuine, he wanted one, and I just handballed it to JP. And I'm going, well, if you can help him, I don't give a shit. I would never buy one to put in this retail place, but the guy wants one. He's been referred to us. If we can help him, we help him. But it was just quite funny because are you serious, mate? You called us. And when I told him, he just started to laugh. Then he goes, oh, okay. And then he realised that, no, they don't work here. But, man, you rang me if I can help you. I'll help you to JP. Funny. So... yeah, fucking funny. So no, mate, brokering, going back again, brokering. You need to do a few years in the industry to be able to really call yourself a broker, that you can actually deliver on what your clients ask and giving them value.
Yeah,
takes time.
Full on.
Can't do it in a short period. No.
There you go. That's how you become better at being a broker. All right. And now we've blasted through this episode. We're nearly all the way through. Yeah, we got into our main topic. Fine. So we're gonna fire through this. The main topic: manual is not dead. So, I've got some data here, some numbers. I found some stuff that was very interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting. So, 2023 sales figures. Different models of cars, manual versus automatic.
Yep.
The short story is 1.7% of new vehicles sold in the US were manual. That's up from 0.9%. So it's almost double, right? The amount of cars manual.
But that'd be probably...
It's still tiny compared to everything.
Yeah.
Because 50% of that is trader utes and now electric cars and all that sort of stuff. Still tiny numbers overall, but it's doubled, okay? So I've got a whole bunch of models of cars here with the percentage...
and stuff like that would be the main...
with the percentage of them that were ordered as a manual. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to say the model and you've got to guess what percentage you think were manual.
Oh, well, hang on. So the car... What do you mean? So the cars...
So I'm going to tell you a car model.
Yep.
And you're going to guess how many people bought them in manual.
Oh, yep. Okay, sorry, yes.
What percentage?
Yeah, sure, I get it.
Yep. BMW M2.
An M2?
Yep.
Well, see, mate, there's a lot of fucking new generation buying those cars that don't know what the third pedal is.
I know.
They think it's a fucking old handbrake.
I know.
So I'd actually say it's probably less than 20%.
50%.
Well done.
Well done, BMW M2
That's
winners.
well done. Yep. That's really good.
I'm happy.
I'm actually quite happy to hear that.
Yep.
That's good.
Very promising.
Very, very positive.
Yep. So the next one is...
Fuck, that's big. I didn't think that.
The next one is one we don't know a lot about because it's Cadillac, and this is really interesting. So the CT4V and the CT5V, which are Cadillac's AMG
Mate,
drivers,
they are... Mate, they bring them here. I'm buying one of those. I fuck it,
Beasts.
mate. They're beasts, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly that.
Yeah.
The Cadillac's version of an AMG,
exactly.
normally aspirated or the supercharged, actually, they're fucking animals,
They make a lot of power.
Great car.
So this
Great
is
car.
interesting because American market only, right? This is an American car, and we know what America's like. Yep. Most people don't even know what the stick means, right?
True. But
how many of these do you think were ordered in manual?
Well, I know they could get a manual in there. That's why I thought it's like the R8 Tour sedan or something or other GDS. Look, they did like their manuals and the Monaros and that shit over there that we got, the HSV stuff. But it's still an executive fat cat car.
Yeah.
It's 15%.
50.
Again!
50% again.
Grouse.
How good is that?
That's
makes me happy.
grouse. You know that? Didn't think that. That's great.
That's awesome, isn't it?
That, honestly,
that's a statement, right?
That's big.
So that is a statement to everyone making performance cars at the moment.
That's fantastic.
This is how many people
I thought
actually
15,
want them in
maybe
manuals.
20% tops.
Yeah.
Because of the car and
Yeah.
the way they're aiming it, but that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
so in your
really good.
BMW 330s, don't make a manual at all. But in your M3s, you need to make a manual because there's half your market there.
No, don't they
that
still make
wants a
an M3?
manual.
Don't they make
They
an
do.
M3
They
in a
do. They
manual?
do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Because a client of mine's brother bought a wagon in a manual.
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
It still looks like a fucking someone kicked a rabbit up its ass with the teeth, but it's good looking thing inside.
So now this one will surprise you. The new Civic Type R, the car that we talked about a couple episodes ago, that was really, really, really good.
Well, going by the other two have really sort of thrown me now. I should not get overzealous, but I was going to say that car there, maybe 70% manual.
So this one's the standout. 7% manual. 7.
Oh, well, go and fuck off. Really? Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
7%.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you that everyone's fucking 19 and can't drive manual.
Literally. Yep. How fun is that? To go from 50% to 7%. And that's a performance car. It's a hot hatch. 7%. How wild is
That
that?
in an auto or DC. What was it?
Yeah, that worries me about the next
No,
generation.
that's why it's like, that's fucking massive brakes on.
Yeah.
That car.
Crazy.
That's why I'm so
They should all
blown
be
away.
manual. There shouldn't be
the
an
fact
auto
that
option.
the CTS-V, the Cadillac,
I know.
50%.
I know, it's wild, isn't it?
And a hot hatch manual. That's why they're
Crazy.
70%.
It's crazy.
Take the zero off.
I know, it's mad.
You're ashamed of yourselves, mate. A hot hatch. A hot hatch. If you bought an auto hot hatch, fucking go have a look at yourself,
I know.
mate. That is disgraceful. And for the legends that are 50% of you bought a 6-speed manual in your CTS-V, fucking power to you.
What a legend.
And how many in the M2? 50.
50% as well.
Well done.
So, yep, BMW's doing well.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll trade an M2 manual, not a DCT.
Cult classic, MX-5.
Oh, well, fuck, I don't know. Do they make an auto in
They do.
Sorry,
in
a
the
manual?
NDs, the latest ones, they do make an auto.
They do?
Yep.
Sorry, manual.
Yeah.
They do make a
all
manual.
these cars have both as options. Yeah.
Oh, look, the MX-5's become just a soft. It's not like one of those, you see all the blokes go on the weekends to Winton with their little roll cage. The MX-5's become a bit of a soft, just a plushy thing. I'd say fuck all. I reckon maybe less than 15% would be auto.
60. 60%.
Manual.
That's a manual. Yep. So it's still the sports car of the people.
Got me fucked. I thought that would be just a tool around auto. Roof
Yeah,
down,
because they really,
just swan around.
with the latest one, they really did try to turn that car into a baby Jag. Like they really did try to make like a baby D type, and so you can see that why you'd think that 60%. So the enthusiast market is still there.
I wouldn't have. I honestly thought, I'm still blown away by the fucking Honda Civic.
I know. That blew me away too. I couldn't believe it.
7%
Wild.
manual.
Maybe the Asian
Global?
markets affect that some. No, so these are
America,
US
US.
figures. Yeah, US figures. Yeah, I'd love to see these for Australia. But this is interesting because we know the US market, right? We understand that market is not a manual heavy market. So to see such positive manual numbers in certain cars in a market we know is not like in other parts of the world, like you would imagine that Civic Type R number in Australia would be much higher.
That's what I mean. Like I'm wow.
So
Interesting.
mini John Cooper works.
For fuck's sake, I don't know. I'm thrown by this survey. I mean, and most of them are 4-cylinder cars, so I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, they've got that new DCT gearbox, it's quite good, but it's a Mini Cooper Works S. It should be manual. I'd say 40%.
50, so you're pretty much bang on there. Yeah, and that's encouraging.
But that's always been a pretty good manual market. Yeah. That's why I'm going. That should really, they've got a very dedicated audience. I mean, they're always upgrading, and so they want that. So, But yet we had that manual. Remember that one of two manual 5-door Countryman, that pastely bluey colour fucking thing?
Yeah.
Couldn't give the bastard away.
No.
We ended up wholesaling it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but that was a Countryman.
Yeah,
so like
weird thing.
That's,
weird
thing. Didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah. All right, now this next one. So it's all Porsche all Porsche cars which have a manual option available. So this isn't including Macans and that sort of stuff.
Well, they don't have manual.
But it's basically all 911 and Boxster models.
Yeah, Cayman.
Cayman, yep. Of all of those which have manual available, which is most of them.
Yeah.
Just excluding like your GT3 RSs and
Sure,
stuff.
of course. How many?
How many?
I think, yeah.
Because there's a lot of businessmen, right? There's a lot of executives.
A lot of strong, not strong, a lot of executive women that are buying heavy into the Macans and that sort of stuff.
But we're not including those.
Even Boxsters. Caymans,
Yeah.
but nah, I reckon it's less than 15 to 20%.
It's 40%.
Manual.
Yep, 40%.
Still. That's fantastic.
That is incredibly encouraging.
Is it that many still?
Massive.
America, this is.
America. Yeah, so you'd imagine it'd be higher here. It's mad. It's so good.
Wow,
so when
that's
Porsche decided to
fantastic.
axe the manual gearbox in the 991 GT3 before they brought it back, the whole 911R debacle, that must have been a marketing, because they've got these numbers, right? There's no way they looked at this sort of numbers, 40%, and thought, no, we don't need a manual.
Wow.
So that whole must have been
That's
whole
fantastic.
marketing scheme.
That just encourages me, because
Me
it's
too.
either young people now buying manual cars, or the purists are still going, no, I want a manual car, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Very
I didn't think it
encouraging.
would be that much.
So, Subaru BRZ,
Oh, fuck, I'd say it's got to be 50-50, wouldn't it?
79%.
Manual?
Manual.
That's good.
That's awesome,
good.
isn't it? That's
good.
great.
That
I mean,
is good.
that is the quintessential sports car at the moment. If you want something that's good, quick,
What was the 86?
same thing, 86 BRZ.
No, but what was the breakdown for that? Did they have the breakdown for that?
Oh, they
Roughly?
just had it under one.
Oh, yeah,
one
of course,
umbrella.
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So 80%. So
Yeah,
very
that's,
encouraging.
That's,
Very
again, that's
encouraging.
good, because that's a new generation buying, that young generation buying that car.
Yeah, and then WRX again was 75%. So
Do they make them anymore?
yeah,
WRX is still being made?
2023.
Oh,
So
sorry,
it's
yeah.
Cars
yeah.
sold in 2023.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Fuck,
So
okay.
very encouraging. Subaru
That is really good. That
Amazing.
is really good to see the manual.
Yeah.
Gives me a lot of hope, because, we've had a few 20-year-olds, remember, and coming, I can't drive manual. I go, you're not fucking
Unbelievable.
practicing on my car.
Unbelievable.
No, yeah, so,
GR Supra.
well, that's majority of them are auto.
Well, they were, and then they brought out a manual option.
Well, there you go.
So how many do you think they sold?
I reckon that'd be a good little car in a manual, the 3-litre power plant. I reckon
It
it'd
would
be
be.
50-50.
It's 43%, so it's pretty
That'd
close.
be,
Yeah.
that'd be a really nice car,
Yeah.
actually. In a
I reckon
manual.
it'd be a mad car in manual.
Really good
Yeah.
thing, 6-speed manual.
Yeah.
That 3-litre turbo.
Perfect car for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
right
only
in
driven
that
the
car.
auto, or the DCT
Yep.
gearbox, or whatever the fuck it is, the BMW
Yeah,
one.
crap.
But I was going, it was a nice short throw. This would be actually quite a nice
Yeah.
little position. I'd buy that over the BMW.
It's a good little sports car.
Yeah, I'd buy the Toyota Supra over the BMW.
Yeah, me too.
What is it? A Z?
Z4.
4, yeah, equivalent.
I think it also
100%.
one of the last drive against depression drives I went on, there was a black GR Supra with a cream leather interior.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like a executive spec
Premium
on
one.
a Supra, and it was manual, and it just looked awesome.
It's actually not a bad looking car.
It's a
I think
great
it's
car. Yeah,
better
I
than the BMW.
Yep. Now our last model, Golf GTI.
GTI or
Yeah.
Fuck, man, again, I mean, I'd like to say 50%.
50%.
Yeah, because
Yep.
that's just a cool hot hatch. So that's why the Civic Type R people listen to that.
I know.
Hot
Now
hatch.
here's the depressing thing with the Golf. Even though 50% of sales are manuals, they're axing the manual gearbox because of emissions.
Oh, go and get fucked. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Depressing.
that's America, though.
America.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, 95% of the world pollutions have to get passed through LA.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't get the fucking cars in here. I mean, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
And that's why they couldn't get the Project One. That's why it was such
Yeah.
a hold up for the Project One
Yeah.
AMG thing. A
It's
lot of
wild,
those
isn't
cars.
it? 50% of their
Really?
market, and they're just axing it. It's crazy.
Really?
Crazy.
Wow. That's massive.
Yeah.
Massive. Okay. Well, back.
Yeah. So in this year, or that year, 2023, Auto Trader saw a 13% increase in page views for manual vehicles. That's significant.
That's great.
That's
That's
really, really big. So yeah,
That's big.
is manual making a comeback? It certainly
oath.
seems like it's fluctuating up
That's
at the moment,
fantastic.
which is very encouraging
That's
to see.
very encouraging. I did not expect those figures.
So the last bit of very interesting information to top off this topic. So in the UK at the moment, Insurers are warning young drivers that if they do not hold the manual version of their learner license, they could pay up to £760 more per year.
Huh?
So
On their
what
premium.
they're so you know how when you go and get your learners,
Sure.
you can get just the automatic version or you can
Yeah.
get the manual. So they're saying that if you do not take your manual test, if you only take your auto test,
Yep.
insurance companies know that you're a dimwit idiot.
So you pay
and you
more.
pay an extra £800 a year, 1,600 Australian dollars a year more on your insurance. Just because of the license.
Yeah,
How interesting is that?
I mean-
so that's big data now
is it
saying
that much more skill to drive a manual? I don't know. Is it that much more skill?
or maybe it's just the type of person who is interested in it is actually interested in driving, so they pay a bit more attention. Either way, that is telling us that the big data shows that people who drive manuals are more competent on the road in general.
100%.
They have to be for that to be the case.
100%.
Very interesting.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this and you do not currently know how to drive a manual, fix it. Fix it.
Oh dear.
And on that rather encouraging note, we'll end this episode. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
listening.
much. Lovely to see you all again, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.